Hi, you guys. Welcome back to the Sing Confidently Live Creatively podcast. Estelle here. I hope that you're doing well. I hope you've had a good week and that you're excited for the rest of the week and the weekend to come, et cetera, et cetera. Today, we're talking about how you can get over your fear of singing in front of other people and that it's absolutely possible. Like, you definitely can. There's a lot to be said around performance anxiety as well. But for the context of this little conversation, this mini midweek pep up session here that we're going to do, I want you to know that this is really me empowering you and inspiring you, hopefully, and really sharing from my heart why I believe you can get over your fear of singing in front of people. And if you have any other questions about this, about like specifically geared towards performance anxiety, just DM me on Instagram. I would love to like answer more specific questions as well. But I want to get into this today. For me personally, I have always enjoyed like singing. I've always loved singing and performing in front of people never like scared me per se, but I think that like as I've entered different phases in my life, just like just in general, like life phases, I've realized my desire for like I like my tendency to people please, for instance, my tendency to want people to approve of me. And even though like I don't necessarily fear singing in front of people, and like I want to, but I have to be careful of like, oh, I need to make sure that I'm not just seeking people's approval when I'm singing on stage or when I'm performing or sharing myself singing, but I want to be doing it for the right reasons. And so it's like two sides of the same coin of like performing in front of people, letting other people see you and hear you, but you might like be afraid to do it. Or you might be like okay with doing it, but then maybe there are underlying reasons that aren't necessarily helpful or really allowing you to show up fully or to be your best, right? Because whenever I do sing and I know that I'm like, I really want people to approve of me, I hope that people like it, there's a tendency for me to hold myself back a little bit and want to be like appear a certain way or seem a certain way. And that is fear, just like not performing at all or not putting yourself out there at all is also rooted in fear. You can, still be putting yourself out there, but not being fully yourself. That's also rooted in fear. So that's me personally. But I definitely have had experiences where I didn't really want to sing in front of people. And it was because of that people pleasing. It was because like, oh, I don't think they're gonna like what I have to sing, or like, oh, I don't know if they're gonna like, my voice or whatever, like having those doubts. And it's all rooted in fear. And, personally, I have been really engaging this aspect emotionally and mentally in my own life and in my own um yeah, just like in my own life in general, not only in my career but in my life in general. Recently especially been coming up against it again and again, and um finding myself going to God in prayer, journaling, and really taking that look inward, and in relationships too, like talking to people, which I like never want to go that deep with people, but I'm learning to do so more, and I'm trying to do so more in order to let people in so that I can um yeah, also receive healing and not just like give out and pour out, but also receive. And so um that all that to say is like it's not just in performing, it's not just when it comes to singing. That fear of people, that fear of what people will think and say, it can show up in every part of your life, and it really takes that looking inward to start to overcome it, to start to push past it, to start to find room for growth. And yeah, so that's how I'm feeling about that right now. And I don't know if you guys relate or if you've ever felt that like um people pleasing or that tendency to seek approval from other people or that fear of what people will say or think play play a role and show up in your life in other ways, I really encourage you to do what I'm doing and like look into it, journal, pray, seek God. And that goes to my first point here, which is that if you're playing safe by not sharing your voice, you know, and this is now speaking specifically to singing, if you are playing it safe by not sharing your voice, not singing in public, not singing in front of other people, not even trying to do that or move towards that, I want you to know that this matters, as in your singing matters. And this relates to that point about looking inwards, because I could, give you tips for stage presence and, deep breathing before you do a performance and all these things, prepping before you go on stage or before you turn, hit, press the red button on your camera to record yourself or whatever. But it's about looking inwards. It's about your heart. And if you don't recognize and you don't realize and you don't believe, like, to your core, that singing matters and that your voice matters and that it's actually given to you as a gift from the God who created you and loves you, if that is not like in some way at the core of your heart, like the core of your belief, it's going to be really hard for you to share your voice consistently and passionately, right? I want you to know that your voice matters. Singing is important. It matters. And in our society, in our culture, like in our world, we're told that singing is only, music is, the arts, creativity, all that is like, it's good when you're younger, it helps you with your confidence when you're younger. And yeah, you can do it more when you get older, once you're retired. But, when you're really an adult, like you don't have time for that. That is literally what the world tells you. That is a made up concept in culture, in society. And you might not even realize that you are holding that concept and it has got you in a chokehold. Like it is literally holding you back from doing anything with intention regarding your singing, regarding putting yourself out there, regarding building and developing your vocal talent, because you have this belief that, oh no, I don't have time. Oh no, it's not a part of being a real adult. Where did that come from? Like, did that come from you or did that come from society, right? So I want you to look inwards and start to rewrite those stories. Like, is it really true that my singing doesn't matter? Or is it actually true that my voice is important? Singing matters. It matters because it uplifts my spirit. It matters because it uplifts other people's spirits. And that is important. It matters because we all have had experiences where we hear someone singing and it changes the way that we feel and the way that we're experiencing life. It moves us to tears, or it moves us to joy, or it moves us to action, right? Music is powerful. And if you don't realize that for yourself, then that means that you might not be realizing that you have a calling. You might not even realize that you have a calling, right? Because you have the ability to sing. So you've got to go inward and start to recognize that for yourself. And then the other thing is knowing that you can start small. Like you don't have to think so big when it comes to starting to share your voice, starting to sing in front of people. Okay, I guess I have to go to a Broadway audition. Like, no. You can start super, super small. You could sing your friend happy birthday. Like sing a chorus of a song that you know really well, that you feel like you can sing really well. Just sing that chorus for 30 seconds on your Instagram story and share it. There you go. You started to put yourself out there. Small ways. Think super, super small. And if it still feels overwhelming, think smaller. Sing for your spouse. Sing to your children. Sing to your friend, right? Start so small and then grow from there, right? But it all starts from that heart posture, like knowing that your voice matters. If you have the ability and the desire to sing, right, which we all do, and we all can grow. Of course, you might not be where you want to be yet, but that's why we can grow. That's why you're listening to this podcast, right? That's why, hey, I still have voice lesson spots open. You can grab one, right? To start working on some technique and helpful skills, and also like mindset stuff, which is what I do in my lessons. I don't just go through like the technique, but I also help with mindset. and I give you a structured plan so that you can actually practice on your own time. Because I know that you're also a busy woman, right? You don't have time, but I can give you a structured plan so that you know exactly what you're singing, exactly what you're practicing on your own time. And you can just start small, and you can just start, and you can start today. And I want you to know it's important and it matters, and you can do this. I'm going to share actually a testimony from one of my students. She has been working with me, and she left this testimony for me based on our voice lessons. She said, I love working with Estelle. She has a great ability to see your strengths and areas of your voice that could use improvement. She easily adapted to my voice's personal needs and gave real-time solutions to work through my issues. Down to earth and easy to be vulnerable with, would recommend to anyone looking to build skill and confidence in their voice. I'm so grateful to her for leaving this review because she shares about how in our lessons, I'm adapted to her voice's personal needs and gave real-time solutions to work through those issues, right? Those challenges she was having with her voice. Because that's what we can do in lessons. Like you can literally get that, bam, like I can tell you right now how we're going to adjust, what we're going to fix. And even if it's not the perfect answer, right? Because the voice it's an organic instrument, right? Well, we're going to find our way. Like we're going to figure it out. It's going to happen. But the other part is that she said that, easy to be vulnerable with. And I want you to know that when you come into lessons with me, it's a safe space so that you can encounter these same feelings that I've been experiencing, right? Of this, like, oh, I don't know if my voice, maybe I'm seeking the approval of other people when I sing, or maybe you're struggling with realizing that your voice matters and that you have a gift, right? And so I want you to know that in lessons with me, you can also, open up about that. We can talk about that. We can work through that mindset stuff, that vulnerable aspect of singing, because singing is so vulnerable. And then from there, we build technique and we build, your skills that you need to keep growing and developing, even outside of lessons. But, that heart posture, that heart place of like that vulnerability of like knowing that your voice matters and that it's important. I really want you to know that you can also find those in lessons. You can also figure that out with a voice teacher, and that can be really helpful for you. Okay, so thank you to my student for leaving that testimony. I want to let you guys know that I do still have a couple slots open for private lessons online. You can go to creativelybyestelle.com/studio and book your first lesson there. I would love to work with you. And if you have any questions for me, you guys know you can find me on Instagram at creativelybyestelle and just DM me there, and I'd be happy to answer. Okay, I hope this encourages you. Your voice matters. It really does. So you can move past your fear of singing in front of people. Realize that your voice matters. Realize that your voice is important. Singing is important. That's number one. And the number two, just start small. Start super small. Start putting yourself out there. One way that you can do that is getting a lesson with me, and I can be your first audience member if you so desire. And I'd be happy and so honored to do that. creativelybyestelle.com/studio if that's for you. If not, and regardless, I'm so happy that you're here, that you're listening, and I can't wait to chat with you very soon. Have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you later. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode and to this show. I'm so in awe of you for being here and showing up for your creative gifts. That takes courage. Don't forget to join the performing arts community on Facebook for support and inspiration as you continue on your journey. If this episode helped or inspired you in any way, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts and share it with someone. It means so much. Thank you again, and don't forget to keep singing, acting, dancing, performing, and living creatively. Talk to you next time.